Hey YouTube, welcome to RV Daydream. I want to talk about internet while you're traveling on the road. I have the best solution for you. So let's get into it.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
We were on the road for 3 years, traveling full-time in an RV, and well before we left, I was looking for an internet service provider of some kind because we were doing so many uploads of YouTube videos. And of course, I like to watch TV, and I was going to be streaming TV while I was on the road. Now, some of the campsites that you go to, they offer free cable service. Some of that's been okay, but as far as free internet, the free internet that you get out on the road, I've only found 2 places that it actually worked well. The majority of the time, it's real slow. It's hardly anything to even try to stream a movie. It don't even work. And other places that have decent, you have to pay for it. It's not cheap. So I wanted to get something that I had control over. So I reached out to a company online, just blindly. And the first company I contacted, they didn't even contact me back. And I have the rule of, well, if they ain't got my money and they're ignoring me, what's going to happen when they are getting my money and I have a problem? Well, they're probably going to still ignore me and they're getting paid. So I reached out to another company, again, kind of one of these deals, you know, picking a name out of the phone book.
Johnson, Navenar, sounds like a typical.
And I was surprised with the fact that I talked to the owner of the company. He answered the phone. Doesn't mean that the company's small and you've got to be concerned with, oh, you know, they're not reputable or they could just take off with my money or some crazy stuff like that. Although that happens out there, again, I've been with this company for it's going on 4 years now, and no problems, no issues, no worries. They've always been above board. Everything that they've given me has worked just like it's supposed to. They have free support. You can get everything taken care of through them. They have a website, and on that website is the ability for you to click a chat box, for you to give them a call, whatever. Now, I'm going to tell you, before you start doing any of this, before you start jumping in, because the video goes on a little bit longer than you like, the link is only going to be down in the description for this. I want you to use that link for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's letting them know what kind of traffic they're getting. It lets them know that this is an RVer that's wanting to do this. Now, this internet works fine in the home. I'm using it in the home. We just streamed a live chat for 4 hours using this service from a home, but it's more targeted, especially this new special feature that I'm talking about, for people that travel a lot. So if you click the link in the description, it'll let them know, oh, this is an RV crowd. That's who's clicking this. That's who's wanting this. Now, if you have to give them a call, same thing. Just tell them RV Daydream sent you. Just say, hey, I talked with Mike and Heidi, or I talked with RV Daydream, meaning that you just heard me talk, basically, and he'll know exactly where you're coming from at that point. That's the first thing. The second thing, not so important to you, that just lets him know that whenever I do these kind of videos, that I'm a viable means of communicating to you guys of what they have to offer. That's it. So what I'm talking about now is a new router that they have. So what am I talking about when I'm saying it's high-speed internet? You know, a router that just sits on your desk and it has antennas on it, and your internet comes in off the cable from outside, off the pole, and it plugs into that router, and then you just log into the signal that router's providing. Well, he has one that doesn't require the cable to come in. Instead, it has antennas on it. And it's a cell phone on steroids. That's the best way I can describe it. It is basically, if you took this phone, made it real big and powerful, and then put antennas on it, instead of the little built-in antenna, it put external antennas on it that picks up all the bands, and then a couple more antennas to help broadcast that information inside the house or the RV. That's what the router is that he has, and it's a cellular router. Just like any cellular device, you would normally have a SIM card that's inside that would tell you which service that router is going to draw from. That SIM card would then allow you to use the service that the cell towers in the area. Now you can see why that might be a problem. I have a router that has AT&T. Well, what happens when I go to an area there are no AT&T cell towers? He's got rid of those. He's got a modem that has no SIM cards. If your service has been deactivated or you cancel your service and then you decide to start your service back up again, and then he's got to send you another SIM card. The benefit of not having a SIM card is that all that stuff can be done through their end, on their end, remotely. And I'm still leaving out the best part, and we might as well get to it. This is a quad carrier router, quad 4 carrier service providers. He has the AT&T. He has T-Mobile. He has Verizon. He has US Cellular, and it's all on one modem. And the best part about it is, it just picks whatever carrier's the closest and the best. So you take this modem, which is not very big at all, and you set it on your table in your RV or on your countertop in your RV. You plug it into the household outlet. It goes through its processing, and once it does, it connects to whatever service provider's in the area. So now you've just defeated the whole, problem of having to worry about, is this an AT&T area or is this a Verizon area? Router don't care. Router chooses which one it's going to be based on what it sees when you set it up in the window. Now, I'm going to tell you that there's a couple of things that you got to be concerned with, and that's putting it up in a window at least facing the strongest tower. So you want to find a way to put that over closer to where that tower is actually feeding it. Again, that's something that can be done through some of the apps like Open Signal and Cell Mapper. But you can also talk with them directly, and they can, kind of guide you of what they see. They can, right now, force a carrier lock-in or a carrier change, meaning that even though your router may have chose, like I said, the Verizon that's in the, maybe you're like, you know what, I don't have the ability to put that antenna over in that area. Can you hook it up to the AT&T or the T-Mobile that it sees outside this window that's a few miles away? They can do that remotely. Now, forward in the future, they are working on an app for your phone that you can do that yourself, but that's going to be a few more months. Their early target is March 24. But one of those things that, there's a lot of stuff that goes into doing an app and making it work. And there'll be some other administrative stuff you could do with the app too, which is really cool. But right now, what I would say is to try it out and just let it lock into what it's going to lock into. And as far as the data then that you get to use, from any of those carriers, they're required to say 1 terabyte. I'm going to tell you that while I was on the road, not once did I ever have a slowdown, a throttle, a shut off, anything, and I went over 1 terabyte. I'm a heavy user of internet. We stream movies, we upload huge files to our Google Drive, we download files from our Google Drive. Our whole rig was hooked up through the internet. We had wireless cameras that were Wi-Fi cameras that we could view our RV if we were away. Like we had to fly back to Ohio and our RV was in Florida, but I could check on it daily throughout the day because it was connected to the internet. And I never had any problems with it. So just use the internet as you normally would, and it's unlimited. You'll be fine. But they do require to say 1 terabyte. It's just a formality, and 1 terabyte is a lot. If you guys don't know what that is, you need to look up how much information that is. This is the company Easycom. This is their landing page, I guess you could say. And you see they offer a lot of different stuff. Now, I also have Simply the Best TV. Take a look at that, see if that's something you want to do. I watch every football game, every baseball game, every playoff game, everything I want to watch, I use Simply the Best TV. It works great. And not only that, but I've got like 36,000 movies I can use too, or watch. So you may want to check into that. But you can see over here, let me go, oh, that was the other thing I wanted to get to. This here, I don't know if you can see what my mouse is doing, but the Wilson WeBoost Cellular, if you get in an area that you have a problem, you can put an external antenna on this modem. That's what we did with ours, but we only did it like, or required it like 5% of the time we were out there. You know, for 3 years of travel, like 5% of that, we had our antenna up. Let him know. He can dial you into what you need. Just let him know what you're running into. You can also see that he is a Starlink modification products and services. It's nice to know that you can, you know, do that through him. We had Starlink for a while. It's getting better, but it's not as, the problem is he has a service that's already far superior to what the Starlink was. And now it's even better that you have all these different carriers that you can get just from traveling. But the one that you're going to go with here is this here, this bad boy right here. It's the quad carrier, again, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, US Cellular. And this is what you'll receive. But I want to give you fair warning, because a lot of people get this sticker shock. They think they're going to call up and they're going to get something delivered to their door and they're just going to pay $100 and whatever a month. So what does it cost monthly? Well, it's $139 a month, and that is prorated. The day you call and place the order, that's going to be your sign-up date that you're prorated from. Activation of this through him is $20. It's just a $20 activation fee. It's kind of a standard thing that the cell companies impose on him, so he just passes it along. Not crazy. You also have to purchase the router. This is where people say, I don't know, I can't. Yeah, the router on this thing costs $249. You're going to be buying this for $249. And that's the other good thing about this. You don't have a contract with them. You just have a plan. Now, you can cancel your plan. You can restart your plan. You can do whatever you want. And the nice thing about it is, again, there's no SIMs being shipped back and forth. The other thing that you need to do is pay for an initial router setup and testing. And there's more than just that. I kind of oversimplify it, but they only charge $20 for that one time. And then there's support is free from that point on. There is no extra charges for that. None at all. The last thing that you have to pay for is shipping. Pretty industry standard type shipping. You've got $30 for UPS ground. Second day air UPS is $60. Or if you want to do overnight, it comes from Central Missouri. It's $120. I don't think I'd pay for overnight shipping unless you're in a real dire need. And he'll be happy to get that out for you. So I can't believe that I kind of landed with that company just by accident. I mean, I literally did one of these, let's try this company. And it's been pretty flawless the whole time. I've never had a problem with any of the equipment other than on my router. I did bang up the antennas, moving it in and out of the rig. And the thing was, is this is something you could try out too. When we traveled down the road, I left it plugged into one of the outlets that was connected to our inverter that was connected to the batteries. So we had our own traveling internet as we went down the road. Now, as you can imagine, this router having 4 different, services to pull from, man, it'd probably be even better yet because I only had one. I had AT&T. Again, that router is just like a cell phone. So as you travel, it would pick up towers as a cell phone would as you went down the street. It's so cool to have internet that travels with you, that wherever you go, you can have your own Wi-Fi network. And again, it's nothing more than having it plugged into an outlet. That's it, to a regular household outlet. Now, I'm sure most of these cars, they have something like that. Or you could buy a little inverter that plugs into your cigarette lighter. I have hardly thrown out the word, this is the best. This service provider that gives us cellular internet whenever we travel the whole country, this is the best. It works. It really works. So you guys, I'm going to, again, refer to the link down below, as I mentioned before, for the reasons I mentioned before. Click that link, or if you have to call them up, just say, I saw RV Daydream's video on YouTube. I want to try this thing out, and he'll be happy to talk with you. So hopefully you guys will get to try this out on your own. And as always, we hope to see you out there. Bye.